Hey, shh, don't say anything crazy. And if I remember properly, it's going to basically not even be live for them until exactly at 6.
Yeah. Were you able to were you able to fix that issue with Christian?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I left him that. I mean, it's your friend. I was hoping you'd. I don't know if you'd reached out to him or not. I just left him a Facebook message saying it's working fine. I'm not sure what the issue was. So,
Right, right, right.
but yeah, I think we're live, buddy. Okay.
Awesome.
Hello, hello, everyone. Looking really, really forward to talking with all of you this evening. We're going to be live at 5. Well, technically it's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is Paradise Standard Time for all of those of you who are suffering in the snow. And so, yes, but I understand. I've been there. Yeah. 34 years in Connecticut. I understand. How is it for you there, Tom? The weather?
It is rather cold, and what I mean by rather cold is two sweatshirts, a coat.
Right, right, exactly. You're
Right?
well prepared. Layers. Growing up on the East Coast, that's what we did, man. Layers.
Yeah, I definitely have layers on at all points of the day, and then when I go out, it's like, what? It's ridiculous, man. It's so
Yeah.
cold here.
Yes. Yeah. You know, I'm actually kind of. I wouldn't mind having a little bit of that cold. To be, I know it sounds crazy, and the grass is always greener. I love living where I live, but sometimes it's just nice to get a little bit of crisp air, get some snow on your face, and it's fun. I guess maybe it's just because I had it for 34 years, and now I miss it a little bit.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Hey, everybody. So it is 6 p.m. We are going to be waiting just a smidgen for a few more people to join us. So always, you've got those folks who are just a little bit late, and it's weeknight. We've got kids to take care of. We've got traffic to deal with. People who are leaving work. We try to make this reasonable so that it's easy to attend for those who are on Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. where I'm at. And then, of course, Eastern Standard Time for all the rest of you. It's hopefully not too late where you're still able to be with us, be focused, and have your attention and not be completely nodding off. So we try to find the right time that works for as many people as possible, and that means inevitably that there'll be a few people who will trickle in and join us after the exact 6 p.m. start. But I like to honor everyone's time, let you know that we're going to be kicking it off in just moments. And as it shows you on the screen there, we're going to be discussing how the not only the how, but the importance of the priority of discovering your passion and full potential, guaranteed, why your entire life depends on it. And that may sound, I mean, for some people that might sound drastic, it sounds crazy, maybe I'm over the top with that. No, I do not believe that at all. After, at least for me, from the journey that I've had, you'll hear my story. You'll hear what I've been able to create and experience in my life. And this has now become my truth and my reality, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. So we're just going to be live in just a few moments. Stay tuned with us, and we'll start in a few minutes or so. This will actually give you time to maybe hit the restroom real quick if you need to. Make sure bladders are empty. You can be relaxed and focused, and maybe you have something to drink and something to write with, which we'll go into in just a moment. So stay tuned. Awesome. For those of you just joining us, just letting you know we're going to start in about a minute or two. We're just pausing just for a second. You're in the right place. If you are not hearing anything, it's just because we're not talking until now. Now we're talking, so if you're not hearing me, well, then you wouldn't know that I'm talking. But if you can hear me now, you're in the right place at the right time. We're just waiting to about 6:05, just for those who are kind of settling in and getting started with us. And then we're going to crank and get rocking. And I promise you, we've got a lot of amazing stuff to share and cover this evening. Looking forward to sharing it all with you and just giving it all away. And we'll also do our best to leave some time at the end for some Q&A, answer some of your questions. So get settled, get comfy, and we're about to get rocking in a minute. Yeah, before we get started, if you want to just say hi, give a name, I don't know, say where you're from. You know, we've been getting registrations from all over. You feel free, whatever makes you feel good. If you want to you can even ask a question now. We won't answer it till later, but you can even ask a question now if you wanted to. But just to let you know, I'll share this again in a minute, but it's going to be interactive. You know, I want folks to know that we're here, that we're listening, that we're live, and also to keep you engaged, awake, alive, no matter what time it is where you're at. I want to make this feel like we are in your living room, like this is workshop style, not that you're just staring at a computer, which you may or may not do for most of your day, but that you're live with us together, feeling good, getting the energy of this, not just the information. So we'll start in about a minute and a half. Stay tuned. And yeah, this is not, if you've ever been on a webinar before, this won't be like any of those. I promise you. Alrighty, keeping to my word, keeping to respecting and appreciating your time, we are going to get started. So this evening, as promised, we're going to talk to you about discovering your passion and full potential, guaranteed. And what I mean by that is I am guaranteeing you that I'm going to deliver a formula, a map, stuff that has worked in my life, worked in my client's life, and then I'm going to share with you why your entire life depends on it. And very simply, I'll make the statement right now that because it is your life. It is your life. And it's crazy how we wake up each day, we interact with individuals, we go to work, we take care of our children, we maybe give back in some way, shape, or form if we are doing that, if we're able to. We watch some TV, maybe we go on vacation or hang out on the weekends. But we're not really connected to the actual depth and reality of the fact that this is your life. Your life. And I want to make sure that I do my part, my mission, to helping as many individuals wake up to being alive and not just living. And if I can stress anything for you tonight, there's a difference between the two. And if you get that on any level, then you're in the right place at the right time. Discover the 5 massive mistakes that you're making that are keeping you wandering, broke, unfulfilled, because I was making these mistakes and wandering, broke, and unfulfilled. That's what I was. Discover your true potential and finally live your dreams in 2015 and beyond, right? I want to help you have the best year yet and make sure that these are things that you can actually apply to your life on a consistent basis and have real results, maintain real results, not just a little bit of motivation, inspire you for a week or two and then go back to the same old shit. So before we get started, I'm going to give you a little bit of intro about who I am, why you should listen to me, why you should actually give a crap. That's me right there. that guy. And I'm not normally that Guido looking, I promise you, the little chain there hanging out. But my name is Dallas Michael Sear. And I basically have built two different businesses, both successful. But I come from a background of a broken home, for lack of a better term, where my dad left when I was 11. But prior to him leaving, he went from job to job to job. We really didn't have a lot of money. I never needed for anything. I was never suffering on the street, but I was always reminded, take care of that. We can't afford another one. Better take care of that. We can't afford another one. Can't afford to buy you another one. Make sure you take care of that. And don't lose this, take care of that. And in addition to that, there were times when I was working two jobs just to get by, and I was living in an apartment with my mom and my stepdad in just a small, like, two-bedroom apartment in a very, very rough neighborhood, what I affectionately call the hood. I actually loved where I grew up, but it was not a great place. It was not really a great place, not really a safe place. I grew up in the hood. So I share this because I was never handed anything. Neither one of my parents went to college. Neither one of them had a business. And yet I've been able to have two successful businesses. And at the same time, I've also had some serious lows mixed in with my serious highs. And I'm going to talk to you about how I've been able to maintain a consistent joy in my life, to be living a life filled with purpose and passion, to be surrounded by some of the most remarkable human beings in the world who are giving back, making a difference, to be going from bankrupt to now making a lot of money and doing really well, and it just gets better every single day. And what I'm going to tell you is I'm not going to share anything that I haven't yet done. I'm not going to pretend to be a multimillionaire and tell you how to do that. I'm going to tell you how to improve your communication with yourself, with other people in your life, and how to architect your life and get what you want, to stop being in a fog and get clarity, to stop being meek and living a life of mediocrity, and to get confident and to claim what you want and to be a manifester and draw that into your life with passion and with purpose, to go to bed exhausted for all of that you're giving into the world, feeling good about your contribution, about your work, about your relationships, and wake up excited, popping out of friggin' bed. That's what I can teach you. And because my life wasn't always that way, and I've been able to get to that place now. Also, I'd like to introduce, before we go any further, my man Tom. Tom, say hello to the folks.
How's everyone doing today?
Tom is an extraordinary young man. He's been helping me put a lot of this together. So I just want to publicly say thank you, my friend. You've done a great job. It's just great to have you on the team. And for those of you who don't know, Tom himself is a best-selling author. He wrote a book about finding your passion, just straight out of college, is doing some inspiring things, and is just a great person. So I'm happy to be working with you, and I'm glad you're here tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited for tonight. It's gonna be special, and I'm happy everyone's here.
For sure. Thank you, brother. And Tom is gonna be helping us with your Q&A. So at the end, yeah. Like I said, make sure that you're taking notes, and at the end, we're going to be doing our best to get as many of your questions answered and to take care of you, not just deliver a whole bunch of information and leave you scratching your head, but to give you an opportunity to say, well, what did you mean by that, and how do I actually friggin' apply that to my life? And in addition to that, we're going to give you a very special opportunity to work with us directly, work with me directly in something special that I created, and I'm excited to share with you and with the world my mission. So let's get into it. If you just keep watching this presentation, I'll reveal to you my badass blueprint. Watching this presentation today all the way to the end, you will learn why discovering and living your passions is the secret to healing your relationships, to finding your purpose, and to loving your life. It all starts there. And you'll also get what it actually takes to unlock and live your full potential. My personal story I'm going to share with you, and how I've been able to turn everything around in a relatively short period of time. You know, there's no magic pill, there's no overnight success. I mean, most of the people that we think are overnight successes because they pop into mass media and all of a sudden we hear about them have actually been grinding for years behind the scenes. What I can promise you is I'm going to give you what I've been able to not only work effectively in my life but serve my clients with, and it's going to shorten that learning curve dramatically. And I'm going to also help you love the journey along the way, which is key. I'm going to give you the 5 massive mistakes that you're doing now, things that you're doing that you might not even know that you're doing, which are keeping you playing small. And I don't know about you, but I made a decision fairly recently in the past couple of years to just play a bigger game, whatever that means for you. You don't have to have someone else's success. You don't got to be Trump or, you know, Bill Gates, but whatever it means to you to play a bigger game. I know there's a feeling inside of you that just feels like there's something missing. There's more untapped in you. And I know you feel that way because I felt that way. And that's what all of this is calling you to and why you've been magnetized to this webinar. I'm going to help you feel more fulfilled and tell you why you're feeling unfulfilled currently in your life and career, not making the impact or the money that you deserve, and not having the love and quality of relationships that you desire. At the end of the day, without people and connection, what's it all worth, right? I'm going to give to you my 5 A's of abundance. This is the formula. This is the blueprint, and it just happens to coincide with those 5 mistakes you're making. Coincidence? Actually, no, it's not. So I'm going to share something life-changing and game-changing at the end, so make sure you stick around. It's a little bit of a carrot at the end of the stick, but the reality is I have a ton to share with you, and it just makes sense to share it with you in this order. So no real tricks here. I don't do that shit. But I'm going to share with you something at the end that I've never offered before. But first, drum roll, fun ahead, caution, put on the brakes. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times when I'm working with clients who are entrepreneurs, who are in business or in their career, one of the main recommendations that I make for them is go have more fun in their life. Now, for my analyticals out there, some of you may want just friggin' stop being goofy, an idiot. Yeah. Give me the answer. I'm gonna go do it. Boom, that's it. 90% of the time, if you just add a little more fun and inspiration in your life, if you just go play with your kids, create date night, just enjoy yourself, things would attract to you. You'd be more of a magnet. You wouldn't have to work as hard. You wouldn't have to make it happen because who you're being becomes more attractive to your clients, to the relationships that you want, to the money that you want. Have more fun with your life. Please, I'm going to make you have more fun on this webinar. It's just really, really key. Sometimes I tell people, go fly a kite. I mean, in all seriousness, I mean that literally. When was the last time you just ran in a park or on the beach barefoot and lifted a kite in the air and let your mind just drift? Oh, were you 6? I mean, have you even ever done it at all in your life? Guess what? Ben Franklin, he discovered electricity by flying a kite. So don't laugh and downplay flying a kite. Go have fun with your life, and most importantly, have fun right now on this call. Be ready to enjoy yourself a little bit. It's going to get a little bit goofy, but for those of you who are analytical, I don't mess around so much that you don't get the information you need, the steps that you need to get real results. I hope that makes sense. We're not just going to play, but I really want you to just relax and be present, have a little bit of fun, and not take life and personal development and all this stuff so serious. Warning, plugging your ears won't change the truth. I'm not here, ladies and gentlemen, to tell you what you want to hear. That's usually what people are doing in our lives, and it doesn't serve us. I'm going to tell you what I feel is the truth. I'm going to suggest that you try it on like a coat. Put it on. If it doesn't fit you, take it off. But give it a chance and understand that I'm not here to baby you and tell you what you would want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, and that's not always comfortable. But I promise you it's coming from a place of love, empathy, compassion, and it's intended to serve you for your highest good, not just to be a jerk or give you a hard time or make you feel bad. I don't work that way. And there's no fucking babies on this call. To the best of my knowledge, if there are any babies, go to bed. This call's not for you. Now, this slide is meant to be a little bit of a pattern interruption. This is supposed to shock you and be like, what the heck? I love babies. Children are awesome. But I might drop an F-bomb here or there. Not to be vulgar or to be rude, but to just speak like a normal friggin' human being and to make emphasis and point sometimes. You might hear a swear. So if you're highly sensitive or highly conservative and you just do not deal well with that, you're on the wrong call. But if you're an adult and sometimes you use adult language, then you're on the right call. There are no babies on board. Distractions. I cannot tell you how important this is, really, from the core of my being. The number of people who are dying, and I'm not trying to be, Debbie Downer, the number of people who are literally dying from distracted driving has far surpassed drunk driving. For just this webinar, I beg of you, get the hell off your phone. Please, put it down. If your kids are disturbing you, lock them in the bathroom. I'm joking. You're going to be like, this guy really does hate kids. But just get your spouse to watch them, your older child to watch them. Have them go play outside. Do whatever you can. Lock yourself in the bathroom. Go in the garage. Get distraction free. It has statistically been said, I don't know how accurate this is, but we pick up our phones to look at them approximately 151 times a day. Are you kidding me? Imagine what we would be able to do with that time in our lives. You would cure Ebola. Who knows? So for this call, please be distraction-free as best as possible. What that means is put the phone away. 2, have something to drink. Do that now while I'm talking. You can hear me loudly enough in the background. You've probably already turned down your speakers because you can see I'm enthusiastic, hyper. I want you to be able to, as I said earlier, feel the information and feel like we're together and not just be looking at some remote screen and nodding off, right? So get something to drink. Don't use that as an excuse halfway to the webinar. I've got to go up and make tea. Get your tea now and be ready to be focused. Not for me. I don't need you to be here. For yourself. For yourself. I guarantee that if you are interacting, if you are paying attention, if you are focused, if the phone is away, no matter how tempted you are, that you will get 80% more out of this webinar than you would normally. I promise you. This is for your benefit. There's so many things that we can do with our time, with our lives. If you're going to spend it here with me, I'm going to give you 1,000%. And I ask that you bring as much of your attention to this as well. I can feel it through the phone. But more importantly, I want it for you. Have something to write with. Take notes. Now, it's okay if you type. Some folks like to type their notes. That's fine. We live in a modern society. But it's been proven neurologically, cognitively, you will retain information better because when you write, there's a kinesthetic effect that happens of putting literally pen or pencil to paper. So you should take notes. I'm hoping I'm going to give you my intention. Actually, from the last time that we did this webinar, we've got rave reviews, so I know that I'm going to give you a lot to write about and take notes. No multitasking. It is a myth. It is a myth, ladies and gentlemen. You might be able to brush your teeth and watch TV, but you're not picking up on what you're watching nearly as much if you were just watching TV. You might be brushing your teeth and watching TV. You're not doing as well brushing your teeth if you were just brushing your teeth. We do not multitask. We either do one thing really good or multiple things, so-so. Okay? So be on this call and do this one thing really good for yourself. And ask questions. Ask questions and give me feedback. If I'm going too fast, tell me to slow down. If I ask you to put a yes in the chat box, put a yes in the chat box. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me, if this is making sense, if you're feeling engaged and you're actually excited for what I'm about to share with you, put a yes in the chat box. Do it right now. Do it right now. Go ahead. Interact. Let us know. Let us know. Say yes. Raise your hand. Let's make this pretend like we're living, breathing human beings, and let's enjoy. Okay. So, if you're accepting these terms and conditions, then you're ready to have a kick-ass evening. So let's move on. My story. This is my story. Sit down, boys and girls. All right, I was not always a passion warrior, truth be told, or living a great life, my ideal life, an extraordinary life filled with financial abundance, really money kind of coming in effortlessly and more of it every time I turn around, filled with passion, with purpose. Like I have a direction, I have a purpose, amazing relationships. I mean, I cannot. That's really been the biggest blessing of just a community that I'm a part of, a tribe that I'm part of. In fact, it was far from it. It was late summer in 2008 when I first experienced what I now have called my awakening. And I was on the balcony of a 5-star hotel room in sunny Florida, and I was waiting for my girlfriend who was getting ready for dinner in the bathroom. And so here I am. I'm enjoying all expense paid trip, which was awarded to me for hitting a huge sales goal as a financial planner. I was representing a specific company at the time, and I hit this big goal, and I'm on this balcony. I'm looking out this beautiful resort in Florida, and all of a sudden, it hit me. Even though I should be feeling proud, excited for all my hard work and this big accomplishment, the truth was I was miserable. I didn't know it until then. It's crazy. I worked my ass off all year long serving my clients, doing really good work. Wasn't doing any harm to anybody. I was actually good at what I did. I hit this sales goal that took me 3 years to finally hit this goal in an industry where there's a 95% fail rate. I'm doing pretty darn well, not having any real skill or background, but I'm coachable, ladies and gentlemen. That's one thing that there's no slide for this, but if you can learn anything this evening about, how to really improve your life and get the things that you want, first and foremost, be coachable. Be coachable. Stop saying I know that. Every time you say the words I know that, you immediately shut your brain off and you stop learning. You stop learning. And so, it was just interesting. It was really interesting for me. I had worked so hard. I thought this was it. This is why I had, worked so hard. Like, shouldn't I feel amazing and shouldn't everything now be easy and effortless? And no, not the case. And I was miserable. I don't know. Just really, really interesting for me to accept that. For me to accept that. Yeah. But beautiful. It was beautiful. Now, I'm going to share one thing with you that I wanted to share earlier in the call. I feel now is a good time. This is a good time to do it. So I want all of you to just to play along. Close your eyes. Unless you're driving, which I don't know if you could be doing, because then you'd have to be on your phone. I don't know if this is mobile ready, but maybe it is. So as long as you're not operating heavy machinery, close your eyes. And I really want you to listen to this. This is something that you might have heard before, or maybe you have not heard this before. But either way, I want to drive home the point of listening to all of what I'm going to share with you tonight as if you're hearing it for the first time ever. Even if it's something you think you know. A mentor once said to me when I was being very hard-headed, saying, I know that, and yeah, I know that, and I tried that. He looked me dead in my face, and he said, oh yeah? Well then how's that working for you? Dramatic pause. And I had to swallow a pretty hard pill at that moment and realize, man, I keep saying I know that, and it's only because we don't want to feel foolish. We don't want to feel stupid. We protect ourselves by saying I know that. Our ego gets in the way. Don't let what you think you know getting in the way of you learning tonight and being present tonight. I hope that makes some sense. Now I want you to close your eyes and really listen to what I'm going to read to you. And listen not only with your ears, but listen with your heart and listen with your whole friggin' soul. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. That is my favorite quote from Marianne Williamson, and it really, really signifies what this call is all about and what finding your purpose is all about. And so I wasn't living that. That wasn't my experience. I was miserable. I worked so hard all year to hit my goals. I made more money than I ever had before, yet frankly, I wasn't happy. Outside, all looked well, but internally, I was at the lowest point in my life, or so I thought. Actually, it got worse. But it led me where I am today, living a purposeful and passion-driven life, something I bet you want to experience also. However, even though I knew I was ready for a change, I needed one more thing to really push me over the edge and to get me moving from living a life of conformity and playing it safe to a life fully driven by passion and purpose. So while on a balcony at this 5-star hotel where I was staying, I mentally just let it all go. I mean, I lost it. Up until this point, I was somehow pretending like I had it all together. I became completely washed over with frustration, with depression, and just totally confused about where I was in my life at that time. And then it all started to happen. The proverbial shit hit the fan, if you know what I'm saying. My girlfriend of 2 years left me because I let go on that balcony. I was completely unsatisfied, miserable, and apparently that's not very sexy to be around. My friendships, which I had since I was a young person, I mean like around 15 years old, I had these relationships for over 10 years, they started to fall apart, and people in my life stopped inviting me to hang out and began avoiding me. My roommate, who was really the only friend I had left, ended up kicking me out and leaving me essentially homeless and alone and at complete rock bottom in my life. I was a grown man who was accomplished. You know, I had achieved some things. I received some awards. I achieved much in terms of success, at least financially anyway, and I had nothing, no one. Defeated, I decided to move back in with my parents in their moldy, dusty basement. Now, maybe your situation's worse. Maybe it's not as bad. All of it just as relevant. If you're not where you want to be, then on this call is where you need to be. You know, it's crazy because this basement that I just moved back to, I think 4 years prior, this was the house I actually helped my mom purchase. And now I'm just financially in a really bad place, and my friendships and relationships falling apart, and I'm living in the basement. It's very interesting. I was beyond depressed. I felt borderline worthless, as if my life had not even been lived, and I was just killing time between birth and death. And I decided at that very moment to make a change that would affect my life forever. I made this commitment, this decision. I will never, ever act or feel this way again, essentially like a victim. And I will solve this feeling of unhappiness and this lack of passion, or I will die trying. I swore that I would read 100 books or more on the subjects of personal development, of goal achievement, of spirituality. I scoured the internet. I hired a life coach. I went to workshops. I picked the brains of the top pros to discover the secrets of living a kick-ass life filled with purpose and passion. And I had done some of this before, by the way. I had already started dipping into personal development and self-help and all of that stuff because it was actually offered in my office where I was working at the time, you know, with this company as a financial planner. So I had some exposure to it, but I was so narrow focused in terms of how it could help me, you know, sell more and be a good business owner and make more money, and not how it affected the entirety of my life, and not to the degree of whether or not I was really living the principles So I went deeper. I went to a whole nother level, and it made a difference. I discovered a blueprint that works every time, because it's a way of being, it's a way of living. It's not just some quick get-rich thing. Today, I'm going to share it with you, and I'm going to save you the hassles and years of effort that it took me to hone this blueprint into perfection. So keep watching. And keep in mind that even though today I've been very successful helping folks just like you overcome feeling lost or unfulfilled, I'm exactly like you. So if I can do it, you can do it. I just happened to figure out a really simple step-by-step formula for the average person like you and me to see massive results. And at the end of the day, that's really what matters. You know, it's not just information. You could hang up on this call right now and go back to Google and you'll have all the information you want. But I want to help you get results when it comes to creating the life that you want. This blueprint created for men and women like me who want to achieve success, who want to achieve extreme and total confidence. It's so important in living a life of your dreams, and the ability to overcome any obstacle until now that may have been standing in your way. Jim Rohn has this great quote: you don't need your obstacles to be smaller, you need to be bigger. And that's what we do. To finally have the passionate life you desire and gain the joy and the love that you deserve. You deserve it. Ultimate success comes when you actually start taking action with what you say you want and not just talking about it. Achieve real prosperity and happiness in your life, and the opportunity to help others. There's a ripple effect when you do this. People that you love the most will be affected. This formula that I use and that I teach to men and women like you to ensure your success in feeling fulfilled, thinking and acting clearly, and having confidence to pursue what you want and achieve anything. So now, know this for a fact. You will receive all of the same exact value as my in-person clients who are using the same formula at a fraction of the cost. It's going to first cost your time to listen. Yes, I'll be covering all of the details of my discovery with you in just a moment. However, first, what? We're going to have a dance party. Ladies and gentlemen, get up. Get out of your seats. There's a dance break. Dance all night. You didn't know this webinar would have a dance break. Dance all night. 60 seconds. Shaking your seat. Get up on your feet. Come on, folks, rock it out. 20 more seconds. Dance, break. One of my passions is dancing. Boogie down. Jimmy Fallon. Dance all night. He's a great example of what having fun with your life can, create for you. No. What? Funky. Alright. Okay, you get the point. That was our 60-second dance break. And to the best of my knowledge, I've never been involved in a webinar that had a dance break. And I don't know that it's ever happened. I wanted to get you moving. Hopefully you literally got out of your seat, or at least moved around in your chair and got a little bit of energy to prepare for everything that I'm going to share with you right now. We're actually going to get finally into the content. I know you're probably chopping at the bit. And so now that we're going to get rocking, here's what I want to share with you. Okay? I need to let you in on what the real problem is today. This is an invisible villain behind why you feel like you're not reaching your full potential, and it's keeping you from achieving success. And this is why feeling like you're not reaching your full potential is not really your fault. Although, here's the caveat. After you see this, you'll know it is your responsibility to take action. Can't play victim any longer. Can't play ignorant. Ignorance is not bliss. After tonight, you're going to know, then you're going to have to do. if you want things to change. The shocking truth is that up until now, you've been lied to when it comes to how it exactly to create the life that you want. And those lies have all but destroyed your chances for the success that you desire, that you deserve. And you may have heard or perhaps even believed at one point that you just have to work harder. You need to make more money, that it would help if you were smarter, maybe better looking. You should be patient, wait for the right opportunity in order to have the life that inspires you. Yeah, just sit and wait. I want you to have a life that makes you jump out of bed in the morning. So even though you've been told all of this, you want to know something? It's not true. Big surprise, right? Think about it. For decades, you've been lied to by people who have told you to conform to a system, to color within the lines, do things this way, do things that way, get a job, hope for a gold watch. Essentially, work hard, get your gold watch, save up some money, retire, then enjoy yourself. All sorts of false, misleading claims that have been designed to rip us off. Steve Jobs was once quoted saying, "Your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life." Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others and their opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. This is really the foundation of what I do with my clients, of why they get the success that they do, because I give them the roadmap back to their inner voice. They go back to truly hearing, truly listening, and with the support of myself and the tribe, this community that we've built, they get the courage to really follow their heart and intuition, wherever that leads them. I had a client. So his dad said, real estate is risky and you're only going to have problem after problem. So I've got this client of mine who I'm so amazed by and proud of, and he got this opportunity to work along with some very successful real estate investors who know what they're doing. Okay, so he shared this with his dad and how excited he was to get into the business, to learn all these new skills and to learn all of the stuff that it would take to be successful. And he just couldn't wait to get out there. He's very happy about this new opportunity. And his dad said, real estate is risky. You'll only have problem after problem. Now, wouldn't it have been great if his dad instead said, son, that's wonderful. Go for your dreams. I support you 1,000%. And if he felt so inclined, to give him his son his wisdom and say, here's what my experience was and what to watch out for, wouldn't that have been better? Isn't this what happens to us from our parents and our pastors and our teachers? Instead of finding a way of giving us constructive criticism and encouraging us, they pass on their shit. It's not all bad, right? I mean, shoot, Donald Trump's son is an extremely successful, wealthy entrepreneur and real estate mogul. Why do you think that is? Now, I don't know if he's happy in his life, but I know he doesn't have any money problems. Same thing with Donald Trump. Why do you think he knows real estate so very well and started out so very young? His dad was a mogul. We can only know what was given to us. And so if we want something and we look at those who have taught us up until now, our parents, our teachers, our pastors, the people in our community, our friends, our family, and they don't have what you want. They don't have the love life you want, the relationships, they don't have the success, the money. Well, then stop listening to them. Seek out those that have what you want. And you have to get new information. So now that you see the deception, that a life on your terms and success has eluded you due only to these lies, let's dive into the 5 tips that I have for you today, the massive mistakes that you're making, which correlate with my 5 A's of abundance. So you'll be well served today. The first massive mistake, number 5, drum roll please as we count down, is you're just simply unaware. You know, a lot of times we're aware that maybe we're a few pounds overweight. We're aware our bank account doesn't have enough money. We're aware that maybe our relationships aren't as connected and have the depth and impact that we want them to have. That's the surface awareness. It's surface. It's the results. We don't have a deep awareness of ourselves and what's really going on, what caused all of that. Awareness is key. Sometimes just shining light into the darkness is enough to start creating transformation and to help us move in a direction that serves us. Awareness is the first A of abundance. It starts with first being aware. I mean, I was successful financially. I was doing great in my business, but there was so many things I was unaware of. I wasn't aware that my relationship was struggling and being challenged. And once I paused, I realized, man, I really care about this person and she's wonderful, but there's no spark. There's no real connection. It's like just dating a buddy. There was no depth there. It wasn't the right person. But I wasn't really aware of that. I was on autopilot. Same thing with my career. I was doing all right and I enjoyed it. My clients loved and respected me. I mean, I've got coaching clients right now who 5 years ago were clients with me when I was a financial advisor. I didn't do anyone any harm, but I wasn't tapped in to my true potential. I wasn't fully aligned. I was on autopilot, just doing what I was told, doing what felt good. The career made me feel valuable. Saying I was a financial planner and wearing a suit when you come from the friggin' hood or the ghetto and parents who don't even have a college degree and you were struggling to get by as a younger person, it made me feel valuable. I attached my personal worth to my net worth. And I was living on autopilot. And there was a lot more things that were happening to the surface that I was not aware of. And so it's imperative that you become the observer to your life. This is tip number 1. Occasionally make time to just step back away from your life and look at it as an outsider. If someone else was seeing me talk this way, behave this way, act this way, make these choices, what would I say to them? Become the observer. This will allow you to move from disempowered to an empowered state. I teach my clients several techniques to become hyper aware of what is really going on in them and around them. 90% of your success is your environment. Literally your physical environment, the environment in your car, in your home, in your office, the environment that is called your relationships, as well as what is going on inside of you. But here's one technique I'll give to you right now. It's called mindfulness. Right? Some call it meditation, which is fine. But a lot of times when we hear meditation, if we're left brain analytical, we think it's all woo-woo. And we think we've got to tap in the spirit and God, and we've got to sit around in Om and in lotus position. And truth be told, I actually do that shit. Okay? So laugh if you want. It served me a great deal. But even if you are not into that or haven't done that before, or you don't meditate, or you think it's some difficult process, being mindful can simply mean sitting in a chair, turning off technology, and just not talking for 15 minutes. When was the last time you sat still in silence? We wake up. The radio's on, we're cooking breakfast, we're connecting with our children possibly, or our girlfriend or our spouse or whatever. We're watching the news. We get into the car, we turn on our favorite radio show as we drive to work. We get into the office, or we get to, wherever it is that we work. Maybe we're self-employed, we get to our office, and then there's people who need things from us, and we're connecting and communicating and just working, whether we love our job or not. And if we don't love our job, we're numbed. And then you get back into your car to go home, and you turn on the radio, and you sit in traffic, and you get in the house, or you go out to dinner. And when do you ever sit still in silence and be mindful? The 2 ways that you can apply this is be mindful for 15 minutes a day. You got an hour lunch break, prepare your lunch, eat for 45 minutes, sit quietly. Do it when you wake up. 15 minutes. I promise you, you'll be no worse for wear if you get 15 minutes left of sleep. If your brain tells you that, or some article you read, they're full of shit. Stop lying to yourself or listening to the liars. You don't need the extra 15 minutes or the snooze button 5 more times. You need to be awake and sit still for 15 minutes. Do it in the evening, in the morning, in the afternoon. Everyone can find 15 minutes. Create 15 minutes. If you don't do that, even if you don't do that, you can sit in what I call 1-minute transitions. So when you go to hop in the car, take 1 minute. And I mean this. 60 seconds. You'll be no later to work. You'll be no later to work if you take 60 seconds and sit before you start the engine. When you leave work, if you say, I've got my kids in the morning, they're screaming and going nuts, I can't just sit there for 60 seconds. Then when you leave work and it's just you in the car, take 60 seconds. You'll be no later to get home, to the dinner date, to the networking meeting, to picking up your kids if you sit for 60 seconds. And you say, what will 60 seconds do? It will change your freaking life, because you'll have a moment to listen and hear what's really going on. That's what happened to me on the balcony. I paused, and all of a sudden I could hear. It came rushing in. All of the work, the noise, the going, the going, the going. I sat in this balcony. There was nothing but silence, this beautiful scenery, and my brain was able to pause and just experience the moment. And all of a sudden what came in was this reality that had been sleeping in me for a year or longer. Simply sit quietly, reflect upon how you talk to yourself. Have you ever noticed or become aware of the fact that sometimes you allow yourself to talk to yourself worse than you would let someone else talk to you? You ever think about that? Like, how do you think that impacts you and how you show up in the world? How do you think it impacts you and how you show up for your kids when you're being so hard on yourself, beating yourself up, talking so negatively to yourself? When you master this, you will naturally attract the type of people, experiences, the resources that you need to fulfill on your goals and become the new you. Your new awareness will have you drawing these things into your life effortlessly. You'll become a magnet. Awareness allows you to fully tap back into your internal navigation system. 4, counting backwards. Massive mistake number 4, drum roll. You are choosing the wrong story. You're choosing the wrong story. Ladies and gentlemen, everything in your life is a story. It's all made up. Period. See, you can have 2 twins that live in the same household, same mother and father, and one twin says, Mom always encouraged me to go live my best, to be my best. She was my biggest cheerleader. And the other twin, same house, same mom, looks like this other kid, says, bullshit. Mom was a hard ass. She always wanted more. Nothing was ever good enough. And so I could never compete with her expectation. Same mom, same house, same experience, same parenting. Very different result. You know why? Different story. You and I could sit on the corner of a street, see a car accident, and you say the blue car was at the fault, and I was like, hell no, that blue car stopped short. Or the red car stopped short, it's the red car's fault. We need to learn how to go deeper with our stories in our life, what we heard, what we learned, and to analyze. This is not analysis paralysis. This is not sitting on a couch with a therapist and just mulling over, how your dad treated you. Not that anything's wrong with that. There's some aspect of that. We want to dig. We want to get clear. But we want to get clear about the story that we made about these instances in our life, what we've crafted them to mean, the perception we've made. Because everything that you're looking at in your life happens through this lens right here. And if you're scared to look, scared to dig and get clear, then you can't choose a more empowering story. I've gone back to old stories in my life where I thought things were a certain way and looked at it from a different perspective and just chose a different perspective. Oh, well, maybe it meant so-and-so was just struggling in their life. Maybe it meant that I was meant to move on. Maybe it meant that my dad did love me and here's why he did that. ... Fill in the blank. It is mind-blowing what that frees us to experience and to go live in our lives. Because really, just your brain is just a computer. Beliefs are to humans what an operating system is to a computer. So we need to really figure out your belief systems and how you're operating. Our external circumstances are nothing but a projection of our internal reality. Period. If you think the whole world's out to get you, I don't care if you live in Stony Brook in beautiful, suburb area and everyone's happy-go-lucky, you're looking out your window like someone's watching you. If you think everything's meant to serve you, then you can be like me. You could be in the worst situation in your life, poor, broke, in a crappy neighborhood, and wake up to the fact that everything is happening for your good. So whatever is happening internally for you, that is what you are projecting out into the world. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is a prison. Ignorance is mediocrity. It's being a slave to your past conditioning, period. What you don't know is killing you. Some of the tools that I teach are NLP. I teach writing and visualization exercises. We do questions. If you want better answers, you got to ask better questions. I teach people to do this, to take a story, this pattern that they've got going over and over, right? You've got this awareness. Okay, boom. Now all of a sudden you are aware. God, I talk to myself really negatively throughout the day, and I always say this one thing about money, about relationships, about love, about how hard my life is. I always say this one thing. Write that one thing down, and then sit down and ask yourself, where the frig did this come from? When did this start? You're going to find it was probably your mom, your dad. It was something your teacher said. It was something that happened after one breakup or one relationship or one bad experience, and now that is your reality for the rest of your friggin' life. Well, guess what? You can choose something else. That one exercise will change everything. Start to pay attention to your patterns, to your thoughts, and then write down, where did this come from? My ideas about money, where'd they come from? My ideas about love and relationships, where'd that come from? My ideas about how I feel about myself and what I'm capable of. Write it down, dig, because once you figure out that most of that stuff didn't even come from you, you can choose to give it back. You can choose a different story. Life-changing, game-changing. Massive mistake number 3, you're fighting reality. So many of us are fighting reality. If you live in Chicago and every single day you're complaining because it's windy, well, guess what? It's windy. It's called the Windy City. If that's what you feel you need to waste your time and energy on in your conversation, small people talk about small things. You're not going to change the wind. It's windy. You might as well focus on something else, something worthwhile that you can control. Stop fighting your reality. Acceptance is the third A, and there's 2 ways that this affects you, that this changes your life. 2 key things when I talk about acceptance. 1, accepting your reality. 2, accepting your past. Now here's what acceptance is not. Before I go into those 2 things, those 2 very key things, here's what it's not. Acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is not settling. Acceptance is not apathy. I'll also talk about how when we go into my program, my actual the program and the work that I do, we talk about how acceptance leads to forgiveness, and forgiveness is not letting somebody off the hook. It's not saying that what you did that was so messed up that hurt me is okay. It's accepting it and deciding not to be a victim anymore and moving on with your life. Fucking moving on. Fully embrace your current reality. So many of my clients, they're not honest about where they're really at. Again, we don't want to feel stupid or like we made mistakes or that people are judging us. So we say things, we pretend things are better than they really are. Well, if I'm trying to build you a map, or if I'm a GPS and you tell me you're on State Street, but really you're on Governor Street, then whatever directions I give you to get to B, the actual destination, aren't going to serve you very well. You're going to keep going in loops. You're going to keep getting lost. You have to accept, damn it, fine, I'm on State Street. I'm broke. Yep, I don't know how to manage money. Yep, that's what I was given from my parents and my reality. I accept it. I fully accept it. Fully. Now what? It leads you to saying, now what? Now what? Now that you know you're on State Street, you can build a better map to get you where you want to go. Stop pretending like things are fucking better than they are. You're only doing yourself a disservice, especially if you work with coaches and mentors and you're trying to pretend like, you're faking it till you're making it. There's a time and place to step into who you're being, into a higher calling, even if it's not your current reality. And there's a time to just say, hey, you know what, this is where I really am. I need help, whether you're saying it to yourself or someone else. The second part is by accepting yourself. Love your flaws. Love your dark spots. Love your sharp edges. Love your bumps, your pounds, your cracks, your gray hairs. You can't walk towards the light without casting a shadow. Everyone has it. The skeletons in the closet, the regrets. I've learned to stop having the regrets. I've learned to let go of the baggage. When you don't accept who you are, that darkness in you, the mistakes you've made, the people you've hurt, the promises you didn't keep, when you judge yourself for it and you let your Catholic or Jewish mother make you feel guilty, right? I don't know why those they're both just so good at that for some reason. I'm Catholic. I'm not religious necessarily, but I do have a Catholic background. It's just funny. Italians, just oh my God, everything's so horrible, right? So, but when you hang on to that guilt and shame, it's like running a marathon in quicksand, holding on to a suitcase of bricks. Ladies and gentlemen, hear me once and for all. Put down the baggage. Just put it down. Stop carrying the guilt and shame for what could have, should have, would have. So what? You made mistakes. I mean, I've got drug addiction in my family's history. I did things that I am not proud of. But what matters is who I am now and what I'm doing now. And I cannot do that effectively, powerfully, from an empowered place if I keep beating myself up for what I did in the past. So you have to accept your reality perfectly as it is and accept who you are perfectly as you are. Then you can put those bricks down and you can run that marathon on solid ground. Here's one of the best tools that I have in my entire coaching arsenal. It is Byron Katie's Loving What Is. And what you do is you basically take these things that you don't like, this relationship you're having, if you think something's supposed to be another way, your career, your life, how you feel about yourself, a relationship, you think your mom should treat you a different way or talk to you a different way, or your spouse should treat you a different way, or your kids should pick up their socks. Write that down. Just write it down. I hate when my husband leaves his friggin' underwear on the floor. Again, it's gross. He should pick up his underwear. Be as real, be as petty as you can. And then you ask these questions. Is it true? Can I honestly know, absolutely, without a doubt, that my husband's supposed to pick up his underwear? I don't know. Who wants the underwear picked up? Him or you? How do you react when you think that thought? I just get frustrated. I can't love him. I can't connect with him and love him because I'm so pissed off because I asked him to do something and I feel he's being selfish. Is he really being selfish? Is that your experience of what he's doing? You're calling it selfish. Your story is that it's selfish. To him, he's just being maybe a little messy, or he's in a hurry, or he thinks it's just a small thing. Well, how do you react when you think that thought? I can't connect with him. Well, then how does your relationship look? Well, it looks like I'm fighting with him and yelling at him and nagging all the time, and then, he just gets frustrated and he walks away. Well, who would you be without that thought? That he's supposed to pick up his underwear, that he's supposed to treat you a certain way and to not be so selfish. Who would you be? Well, I guess I'd be more loving, and I would just pick them up and, I don't know, I'd hug him, kiss him. I might have less anger and frustration. Maybe I'd be able to talk to him in a different way where he'd actually respond to me differently, and then it would end up in the same result. I don't know. The truth is, all you can do is take care of your reaction, your story, and let go of the expectation that something's supposed to be different, that someone's supposed to do something for you. That's being a victim to your circumstances, of being a victim to other people. And this tool will serve you uh, beyond anything else, I promise you. These first 3 A's alone would transform your entire life. When I first created the 5 A's of abundance, there was only 3. It was these 3. Now, there's 2 more. You ready? Massive mistake number 2. You don't create it. You're a co-creator in this life. You are a co-creator. Chicka chicka. You're a co-creator. Get in the driver's seat of your own damn life. Architecture. You know, the average American will spend more time and money planning their 2-week vacation to escape or take a break from reality than they will planning their actual reality. They'll spend more time and money planning a vacation than their life. And then we wonder why things don't look the way we want them to. I mean, would you feel safe you walk into a house and that house there was never a blueprint made? Never a blueprint made. Architect came along, got some builders together, and just tried to explain things and just said, yes, slap up some walls and a roof. It'll be good. All right, here's a check. I'll see you guys later. If you knew that, would you walk into the house? I wouldn't. Would you feel safe in that house? No wonder you don't feel safe in your life. You haven't built it. You have to architect it. Thoughts are things. Just the thinking can start getting you on the right track. Everything in our world was first a thought. The chair, this computer, everything. This program that I'm now using to talk to people literally in other countries. It was just a thought. You're a co-creator in your reality. We have the ability to design our lives however we like. In fact, you do that now. The difference is, unfortunately, you're doing it unconsciously. You're doing it by circumstance versus consciously by choice. So you're either living your design or you're living someone else's. I just had to take a sip of water. You're either living your design or you're living someone else's. So go ahead. Answer it for yourself. You don't have to put this one in the chat comments, but are you living yours or someone else's design? You know, I love parents. I'm not one, but I have parents in my life who are also very successful business owners, multimillionaires. They literally they have it all. And so I get a lot of parents who I coach. And they say, well, I can't. I got to do this for my kids, and I got to do that for my kids, and I can't take this risk or do this or do bullshit. Sorry. I told you at the beginning I wasn't going to tell you everything you wanted to hear, but what you need to hear. Bullshit. But what will my parents think if I quit my job or I don't do this? I don't know. What will they think? Who gives a shit? What about so-and-so? And what about this person? And, you know, there is a way. Period. Period. Lie to yourself all you want. The real frustration comes from the fact that you know there's a way and you're not willing to do the work, or you don't have the blueprint. Well, guess what? Now you do. You've got the blueprint. Every one of these tools, if you took time with each one of these and really apply them into your life, it will lead to unforeseen results and magic. You can overcomplicate it if you want. But really applying these things to your life, really applying them to my life, to my client's life, is what's gotten them the results. It's why they don't see themselves, their lives, the same way as they did before, and why they're getting the results that they're getting. You know, starting businesses and finally speaking up for themselves and moving out and talking to their parents like adults and making more money and going on trips that they wouldn't have because they didn't have the friggin' balls. The list goes on. The list goes on. The clarity, the courage, the passion, the fulfillment comes from doing these things that I'm sharing with you. Here's one right here. Create a map, right? The vision board. I've got great stories about this that I share with my clients about how I created a vision board when I was 19 years old. I did it by accident. 19. We're talking almost 2 decades ago. Almost 2 decades. No one knew what the hell a vision board was. Oprah wasn't talking about vision boards. The Secret didn't exist. That movie in the book, The Secret, that didn't exist. Nobody was talking about the law of attraction. There were certain principles at work that people have known about for centuries, but it wasn't in the masses' mindset and perspective. No one was making vision boards almost 20 years ago. I literally made a collage. That's what I thought I was doing. I was 19 years old. I was creating a collage to make myself feel better about my crappy life and put my focus on something positive. It turned out that I made a vision board and it changed my whole friggin' life. Now, in my program, in my coaching program, I don't just have people create vision boards. They create a life map. It's a vision board times 10. Visioning is great. So either do it or redo it. If you've done a vision board, make another one. Right? There's things that I did on my vision board. I made my vision board at 19. 5 years later, I'm out. I come back from Hawaii, from going on a vacation with my girlfriend. I look at the vision board and I'm like, holy shit, I was just there. I was just right there, North Shore, swimming with the turtles. And I wasn't snorkeling with them like the picture shows with my girlfriend, but I was right there at that exact location with my girlfriend. And there was 2 other things that happened from that vision board I just never even thought of. So another idea is to write out your ideal day. Literally write it down in a notebook. Record it, like read it to yourself, record it, and listen to your own voice tell you what your ideal day in life looks like, and listen to it every single day. You have to consider your learning style. See, what people don't understand is there's 9 different types of learning styles. 9 different types of learning styles. On top of the 9 different learning styles, there's also the fact that we have 5 different senses. Kinesthetic, gustatory, visual, audio, right? So you have to incorporate all of that. You have to figure out what your learning style is. Some people do better just writing it out. Some people need to hear it in audio. Some folks need to cut and collage and be kinesthetic and visual. Well, what do you think would happen if you did all of the above? You'd create this map, this vision that would make a difference not only in who you're being and what you're seeing and how you're acting in the world, but it would start to begin to change you on a cellular level in your body physically. So consider your learning style, right? So those are 2 tips right there. Make a vision board or redo your vision board. Really look at it. Step back from your life and say, what do I really want? Not this fancy car that my neighbor has, so I think I want a Mercedes, or a Mercedes sounds good, right? Do you really want a friggin' Mercedes? Maybe you want a Jag. Maybe you just want a Mini. Maybe you want a Prius. And if you really do want the car, don't just put it on your vision board. Go test drive the friggin' thing. Get in it. That's just one minor example. So another thing that you can do, like I said, is write out the story, read it to yourself on some recorded device, and then listen to it once a day. Those 2 things, again, that is the creating of your life, the mapping it out. So we're almost at the end, folks. Stay tuned. Come on, stay with me. Get up, move around, shake your butt. I got a lot more for you, plus an offer that's going to blow your friggin' mind. So stay with me. Almost at the end. We still have a live Q&A. That's the main thing, too. If any of this is like, well, I've done this before and it didn't work, so what am I doing wrong? Or how do I actually apply this? Or I've been doing this. Is that a good idea, too? Any of it, put it in the comments. Let me know. Tom is going to ask the questions at the end, and I'll read them. And if there's none, there's none. But you have me available. Take advantage of it. So I'm going to get into the one massive mistake to avoid, and plus you'll have a huge opportunity I've never offered before. So stay focused. You ready? Drum roll. Drum roll. Brrr, the number 1. Brrr. Action. We don't do enough. Not going to lie. Or at least we don't do enough of the right things. That's more of the truth. Some of us are go, 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 go. I may say you don't do enough, and you may turn around and be like, screw you, I barely sleep. So it's a matter of doing the right things, right? The number 1 massive mistake that you're making, keeping you from a life filled with purpose, passion, with love, no action, or in many cases, wrong action. I teach inspired action. It's very, very different than just being a drone going through the motions. You're making decisions from a place of fear, not freedom. Listen to this. This is how you take inspired action, right? Right now, you're trying so hard not to lose that you're not trying to win. Okay? There's a difference. There's a difference between trying to win, trying to succeed, and trying not to lose. The results of those 2 ways of being are extreme. There's a thick line between those 2 things. Stop trying not to lose and start trying to win. You're doing what you think you should do rather than living from your heart. You have the answers. You're not listening to them. You don't know how to. You haven't really been taught. Or you don't know how to trust what you're hearing. It's one of those two things. And I promise you, with myself, I've learned, and it's powerful. I teach my clients, it's powerful to step into that, to know how to do that. Stop just thinking. Your brain is a machine. Once you've made a decision, you have this vision that comes from your heart, you've made a decision. Now your brain can course correct. You can still use your brain. Your brain's important, but it has to answer to your heart, to your vision. You regret the past, you're anxious of the future. If you're always woulda, coulda, shoulda, you're stuck in the past. Damn, I kind of could have done that better. I should have done that better. Or you're anxious of the future. What if? What if? I'm not sure. Oh, I can't. I've got kids. I've got bills. Oh, I'm so nervous. You're not in the present. You're not in the only place that you can actually make a difference, that you can actually affect anything is in the present moment. Your energy, your mind needs to be here with me right now. And it needs to be there with you on a daily basis. You have to create opportunities for that. That's where the being mindful, the creating and architecting your map, your vision board, and writing out your story. Those are the moments when you can get present and create what you really want, or get present and really learn to see what's truly going on in your life and accept it. Get present and get aware and your environments and the language and how you talk to yourself and the diet that you have. Really, really get aware. You're always in the past, you're always in the future, then you're not present. This is the only place you can actually take action and affect any change, do anything about it. Taking inspired action is a balance. It's a mixture between being and doing. This is dramatic. This is dramatic. So many people I know are really good. This has been one of the big things growing up for me, man. You know, especially on the East Coast. Like, I'm gonna make it happen. I could do it. I'm gonna do it. And all these people out there, they're the motivational speakers, and they're pumping you up and just go do it. You're gonna make it happen, and get you. They're telling you basically, essentially, just do. Meet resistance with resistance. Do harder. Really, the only thing you're gonna do is burn yourself out. You might have results, but I promise you, they will not be as dramatic. The journey will not feel as good. They will not be as dramatic as if you step into the being with the doing. And I see people in the opposite. They're being wonderful people. Oh, but my son, he's such a good boy. Such a good boy. I'm such a loving person. I give so much. Why doesn't anything ever work out for me? You think being nice, being good is enough. It's not. I'm sorry. If you really want to make a dent in the universe, if you want to make a difference, if you want to be fulfilled and have an impact, you can't just sit around and be awesome and just, you have to do shit. But when you combine the two, when you're being amazing and being a magnet and you're clear about who you're being, then what you're able to attract in your life is magnified 1,000%. When you, like before, when I was doing, right, I was still a good person. I wasn't robbing anybody or murdering anybody. I thought I was being a good person. You want to know what the truth was? I wasn't really tapped into how I was showing up for my friends or my girlfriend. I wasn't really being a contributing member to society. I wasn't really being happy. I wasn't happy. I was doing a whole lot and I was being a nice person, but at the core, I was not really in a place of power, of being love, being clear with my communication, being somebody people wanted to be around, being inspiring, being my freaking self, my real authentic self. I wasn't even aligned with my real authentic self. And that's when the world changed, when I tapped into that. That's what we teach in the Passion Warrior program. That's what I do with my clients. Now you mix that with doing, with inspired action, you get the inclination, and now you do the right things, and you be awesome, and you do awesome. There's no stop. You can't help but explode out of bed in the morning and go to bed exhausted for how much you're contributing and to love your freaking life. to attract the love of your life, to make more money. Being is how you're showing up. It's what you don't say or do, yet it determines your frequency, and therefore who and what you attract. Doing needs to come from your heart. It's driven by your vision. Your vision also is born from your heart, fueled by your passions. Taking inspired action sometimes take courage, and it may feel like you're going against the grain, like you're doing something wrong. Yet it's when we step out of our comfort zone that the real magic happens. This is when the real magic happens. Because when you're in that comfort zone, you're doing just what you think you should be doing. That's being on the autopilot. That's going from our patterns and our past behaviors and what we've been told we should be doing, what's acceptable, what feels fucking safe. Because we're scared to jump out and do what we would rather do, quit our job and find a better job. I don't think everyone needs to be an entrepreneur and you know, invent something and go be a billionaire. Whatever success is for you, learn how to discover that, tap into that, go live that, and it will take being outside of your current comfort zone. You can't keep doing the same things expecting different results. That is Einstein's theory of insanity. If you wake up going to the same job, watching the same television show every friggin' week that's your only escape, and you talk about the same things, what Sally next door is doing at the water cooler, and what my neighbor did, and what my kids are doing, and you talk about the same things, and you do the same things, and you go to the same places, then how the hell is anything supposed to really change? And if you're not in a circle that is encouraging you to change and supporting you and your dreams, you need to get in that tribe. This has been the biggest massive turnaround for me in my life, is being part of a tribe that is inspiring, that is supportive, holds me accountable, helps me to stretch. If you don't have that, that's what you need. Find it. It exists. I promise you. If you start being that, when I finally stepped into these things that I'm sharing with you right now, within 30 days, I sold everything I owned. I moved to California, and I was in a tribe, a community of some of the most heart-centered, badass, game-changing individuals on the planet. No joke. That is not an exaggeration. And since then, I've tapped into multiple communities across the world, the globe, that are just as powerful. And the reach just keeps stretching because of who I'm being and now what I'm doing. And I want that for you on any level that you want it for yourself. Your action determines your result. From that result, you adjust. Then you repeat. There's no shame, there's no guilt, there's no would've, could've, should've. You take action, you get a result. It's not failure, it's not even success. You get a result. You adjust. Do I need to do more of that? Less of that? Something different. Then you repeat the process. Essentially, that is it. If you apply these 5 A's to your life, I promise you'll experience dramatic results. You'll see things begin to shift and improve in every area of your life almost instantly. When I made my first vision board at the age of 19, in 2 weeks, I was at a corporate job. I didn't stay there, but it was more money than I had ever made. And the person who hired me told me later on that I failed the aptitude test, and she hired me because I was the most polite and well-mannered person that had walked in the door. Boom. Who I was being. Then what I was doing. Applying myself. You now have everything that I've applied in my life to create real, lasting results. What I've used to help my clients transform their lives as well. And I could just leave you here and trust, well, all will be well. You want to know the truth? I poured my heart out just now, and I can sleep well knowing that I've served you. I've helped you in some small way to make the world a better place. I've literally done my part, more than most do. And you know what? That used to be enough. In the past, that would have been enough for me, but not anymore. Not anymore. I want to play bigger now. Today, I am committed to a bigger vision. It is 2015. There is no time for playing small anymore. Your family needs you. Your friends need you. You need you to step up. The freaking planet needs you. That shouldn't feel heavy. That should light a fire up under your ass. And since you're here with me, I know you agree. I am on a mission to help people like you to live powerful, passionate, joyous lives, to overcome challenges with ease and with grace, because life is going to keep happening, ladies and gentlemen, but it's how you face it. It's what you're prepared with. It's the tools and the skills that you have. And don't be so foolish to think you should just be able to figure it out. Bullshit. No one gave us a map when we were born. No one gave us a handbook that said, here's how you live and get all your dreams and everything that you want. Okay, see you later. No one did that. Why should you know? If you look at your parents, your teachers throughout your life, if they don't have what you want, and those have been the people who have been teaching you up until now, then what makes you think you should just be able to figure it out? I know eventually you will. It may be on your deathbed when you're broke and sad and you're saying I woulda, shoulda, coulda. You might figure it out then. I've got an idea. You can do it sooner if you like. Of course you'll figure it out. But why waste more time and energy doing it alone? I was alone in that dirty, dusty basement, man, until I started reaching out to people through social media and really putting myself out there, and then connecting with people live, physically, from social media to in person or on the phone, then to meeting in person. I would have never created this life. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan the flames. One of my favorite poets, Rumi. Before I tell you what the Passion Warrior program is, that's what I'm going to share with you right now. This amazing program, my gift and mission to the world, what's been changing the lives of those around me, my clients, who I'm so inspired and grateful to be working with. Here, let me tell you what it's not. Passion Warrior program is not a program where we fix you, or more importantly, do the work for you. We can't. The program undoubtedly works. It's been proven, period. The coaching you receive is not intended to just give you more information. There's libraries. There's Google. You have enough information. How come we have access to all the information in the world at our fingertips and we still are not living the lives we want? See, this is instead designed to lead you to real transformation. Warning, it requires work. Don't let that scare you, because this work is a lot easier than the kind of uninspired work you're probably doing now in your life. It's easier than being unhappy in your relationships or not having the depth you want. Maybe things are good, but why is good good enough when this is your only frigging life that you got? Why? Even just to ask yourself that question, and this call will have been worth it. This whole webinar will have been worth it if you just are willing to ask yourself that. Even if you don't work with me, why is good good enough when this is the only life you have? So I'm going to invite you to join me in the Passion Warrior program. I want to help you to ignite your passion, live your purpose, love your life. If you appreciate this webinar, there's a lot more of it. And in addition to that, there is a supportive, powerful tribe that you get to join and become a part of. You get laser clarity on your passions, on your purpose. You break through the unconscious and subconscious conditioning that's holding you back, the shit that you don't know that you don't know. And you get the tools to overcome life's challenges with ease and with grace. I used to turn molehills into mountains. Now, most mountains aren't even a blip on my radar. Harry Carey, Henny Penny, the sky could fall, and I am the eye of the storm. I am unshakable. And I promise you, what I'm delivering to you right now and offering to you right now, as well as what was given on this webinar, is the map to that. Here's my client, Michael Norton. Love this man. My decision to invest in Passion Warrior program was well worth the investment. I've always known that I'm meant to do bigger, better things with my life and career, but I had no idea where to begin. It's normal. See, with his entrepreneurial spirit, his experience, passion for life, I knew Dallas was the one to call for help. Having gone through the 90-day Passion Warrior program, Dallas Sears Coaching provided me with the necessary clarity that I have been striving for. Whatever stage you're at in your life or career, Dallas's coaching will certainly amplify your success. That's key. I don't bullshit anybody. I told you. You'll figure it out on your own, whether you're with me or in this tribe or this program or not. But how much pain and struggling are you going to do before you get there, before you figure it out? So here's what's inside, okay? Because this is the most jam-packed thing that exists. I've now been in the industry for 10 years. I've either been in programs or helped build programs or have now created my own program. Okay, I've been coaching for 5 years, but this is the first group program that I've created, and this is the second group to be going through it. So all of this is proven through my one-on-one, proven through the last group that went through, and I know for a fact, having been in this industry for so long, nothing out there is like this, period. Period. My friends are all the coaches that are offering other shit. So I know it for a fact. They're offering amazing stuff. Even I have coaches and mentors. Even coaches need coaches. But nothing exists like this. Period. And either I'm the voice for you or I'm not the voice for you. But if you've gotten this, if it felt like I was speaking to you, then hang out for another minute and listen to what this is. A powerful self-evaluation form to help you get clear, to get real, and to get started. That alone, that process alone is worth at least $150, and really, it's worth more than that. 90-minute one-on-one personal coaching session. A lot of these programs don't actually offer one-on-one with the actual coach. You're working with some other coach, or you're just getting some materials through the internet. We get to work one-on-one together, and in 90 minutes, I can hit to the heart of shit you wouldn't even dreamt of. We will uncover blocks, set goals for you. We will get answers. My one-on-one is usually $300 an hour. In reality, I don't even do that anymore. I'm only interested in groups because I want to create leverage. I want to have a massive ripple on this planet, and I have to leverage up. And so I've also realized that the power of groups is amazing. Like, it's not just me. You don't just learn from me. You learn from the group. You learn from everything. It is insane the transformation you'll receive. I'm going to give you six in-depth, not 5. I went over the 5 A's this evening, but we're going to give you 6 modules with insightful, life-changing exercises that get real results. The 5 A's plus a surprise bonus module. That alone by itself, if it was just the program, would be $997. I'm going to give you 6 live Q&As. So we'll literally be all on a call together, and you can ask me anything. It doesn't even have to pertain to the damn program. You can ask me anything, and I promise I will find an answer for you. If I don't have the answer, I'll find it. Those 6 live Q&As, 6 times with me, available to ask me anything for an hour, that value is $1,800, if not more. 24/7 access to the tribe. We're going to have a private Facebook page. You'll be able to network, connect with each other, connect with me. You'll have access to that 24/7. The tribe is priceless. That's not a joke. When you make friends, when you're encouraged by a group that is your cheerleader, your accountability team, your support system, a resource, you can, who knows, create businesses together, maybe become business partners, you become friends, maybe somebody offers a service that you need that'll change your life. All of it is available. We don't go, selling each other, but we're there for each other 1,000%. Weekly support and accountability calls. I'm going to take you and put you into a group of like-minded individuals, and you will have your own personal mastermind call every single week with each other as a group, holding you accountable, sharing your wins, sharing your pains, asking questions to each other. How are you doing with the exercises? What do you think he meant by this? That alone would be $597 by itself. Full email access to me all the time. Now, I joke and I say during appropriate times. If you email me at 3 in the morning, I'm not going to respond. Okay? Period. The end. Go to bed. But you will have full email access to me, so I'll personally be responding to you again. I've got a team, but I'm going to be the one responding, and a few other awesome surprises, stuff that I'm not even going to share with you. That's just going to be surprises. You're going to get stuff in the mail. I mean, this is the most comprehensive program for finding clarity, passion, purpose, for really waking up in your life. Everything is recorded, so it's yours to keep forever. Okay, if you miss a call, it's okay. If you're encouraged to be there live every time. That's the best way. It's going to push you to show up. This is going to stretch you. But if you are committed, it will be the best thing you've ever done. Period. I guarantee it. I'm going to talk about the guarantee in a minute. I guarantee it. Okay, so this is, I mean, look at this. Come on, one-on-one coaching, the evaluation questionnaire, Facebook group, 6 modules, 6 Q&A, weekly masterminds, email access, surprises, everything's recorded. Normally, at least $4,000. I know people who have one-on-one programs where you just talk once a week. That's it. You talk to this person once a week for a month, and you spend $4,000. Imagine being part of an entire community helping you live your dreams. All of this, plus the bonus of the extra module for a one-time payment of $497. For being here, being early, the program's going to start in a week. I want you on board. I want to serve you. I would love to be your team leader, your team member, your cheerleader, and really, really help you dig deep into what I've shared with you this evening. Single payment of $497. Here's the deal. You have to act. You have to. There is a limited time window. Period. Because if you don't take action, you're no good to yourself or anybody. You have to take action now. It doesn't mean you have to commit forever for the rest of your life. There is a money-back guarantee. I'm going to talk to you about that. But you've got to be willing to take action. You have to be willing to play full out. You have to say, I'm ready. Enough is enough. I'm ready. And you have to apply. Literally, there's an application. See, I'm doing this for all the right reasons, ladies and gentlemen. I want to serve you. I want to create a powerful community. I do not just want your money. So you have to actually apply. I'm going to talk about the application process in about one minute. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to tell you about the application process. It's easy as shit. But I want you to go through the process. I need you to answer some questions for us because we want to make sure we've got the right people in the program. So that way it becomes a win-win-win. A win for you, a win for the tribe, a win for everyone that you're going to affect in your life. And a win for me because I want to work with people who actually care. Dallas Sear was my business coach. Constant guide for over 3 months while I launched my business. I had the passion and the drive, but I didn't know where to begin. With his help, I far exceeded my own expectations. The results were quick and evident within a few weeks. Working with Dallas was well worth the penny, every penny. I would most certainly turn to him again as I continue to grow my business. Ladies and gentlemen, you will receive benefit the first time we talk. You'll get every dollar you put in. It'll be worth the entire cost of the program the first friggin' time we talk. Between filling out the evaluation form for yourself and having a call with me, you'll have already received all the value you need for the full cost. And I'm going to continue to deliver for a full 90 days. My life, my job is to under-promise, over-deliver. Every frigging time. But why do I have you apply? I want to protect the value and the integrity of the group. Period. I want people who are serious. I want to filter out those who are curious versus committed. A lot of people are curious. You get on here, you're like, I'll see what this guy's about. I'm curious. I'm curious about living the life of my dreams. Yeah, I guess it sounds okay. Why not? Let me see what he's got. Well, it's time for you to stop being curious and to start being committed. Give me a chance, give us a chance, give yourself a chance. There was this time when I was going to join this coaching program. It was $2,970. It was one program. And I was about to run to the back of the room at this workshop and buy this program. And the guy who was selling the program was on stage. He was signing books. And I went up to him to have him sign my book before I went and purchased the program. And I told him, I'm in debt. And my girlfriend and I we want to do this program. We want to, but we're going to have to take out a second mortgage on her condo in order to have the cash to buy this program. Should we do this? We're going to put it on credit cards, and then we're going to put it into the mortgage of her house. Should we do this? He looked me in my face, and he said the same thing I'm going to ask you folks tonight. If you don't, what's going to change? If you don't do this, what will be different? See, in order for things to be different, you have to be different. If not this, then what? If not now, then when? If not you, well then who? I want to create a win-win-win, period. A real tribe, a real community, a real family. I want to serve you, serve the community, serve myself, and have the group of us create a friggin' ripple of awesome in the world that the world's never fucking seen. If you'd like that, then let's get together. If not now, when? If not you, who? And sorry for the typo. Not now. You get it. So here comes the apply link. Tom, if you would do me a favor and share the application link with them, put that into the comment box, and get ready for questions. Hopefully we'll have some questions. So folks, get ready for questions. We're going to be coming up to those in just a moment. We're going to share the application link with you so you'll be able to apply. We're also going to email it to you. It'll be right here. You can apply now. You don't even have to listen to me. If you've got no questions, if you're like, hell friggin' yes, then go apply, because there is limits to how many people are going to be in the group, period. Obviously, I'm a human. I can only work with so many people, and I want to keep it close knit, and I want it to work and to make sense. So there's limits. So if you're like a hell yes, I get it. I'm fired up. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm willing to take a chance. I'm willing to friggin' try something, or try this because other shit has failed, or because I haven't tried before. I'm willing, and this guy sounds like I can trust him, because ladies and gentlemen, if you go through the whole program, if you go through 90 days and you even pretend to show up, if you even pretend to show up and your life isn't dramatically different after 90 days, I'll give you your money back. I don't need it. I could care less. All I care less is about your transformation, because that's what helps me further my mission of making a dent in the world, of helping people turn their lights on so that they don't have to be like I was 5 years ago, in pain, wandering, lost, broke. Even though I had made all this money, it was gone. I just stopped working. I got depressed. I stopped working. I had no direction. I realized I hated what I was doing. I was in the wrong relationship. I couldn't relate to my friends. They didn't even like me anymore. Spent all my money, just hung out, and it disappeared really quickly, because I still had all these expenses. I still had an assistant. I still had an office. I still had business expenses, life expenses of like $5,000, but I stopped working. Guess what happens, right? Guess what happens when you still have thousands in expenses and you stop working and you're not making any money and you're fully commissioned? I went through my savings really fast. Then what happens after you go through your savings? What's next? Credit cards. I want things to be different for you, even if it's not that dramatic for you. Is good enough anymore? And why? Every time we show up, we're thinking we're doing good. How come our results are mediocre or crappy? It's crazy, but we have to be great. We have to be exceptional for the world to receive us the way that we want it to. So apply now. If you've ever worked with a coach, then you know just how powerful it is, of an impact that it can have. If you've played sports before, they hold you accountable. They help you push past your limits. You find yourself pushing forward where you would normally quit. During the modules of this program, you will become bigger than you've ever known yourself to be, and it will shock you with what you can actually accomplish when taking the parking brakes off of your mind, when that's been removed. Here's a client. I was at a point in my life where I wasn't happy. I felt really lost. It seemed no matter what positive thing that I did, like excel at work, go back to school, get in a new relationship, travel, etc., I still felt the same. This person was carrying a lot of baggage and a lot of guilt and shame, by the way. I felt like I was going in circles and couldn't get out. I was exhausted. I needed some glimpse of hope and direction. I wanted to know how to move forward in life and to be able to feel like I was living again. Working with Dallas challenged me more than he knows. I am that loving kick in the ass, ladies and gentlemen. I will be your biggest pain in the butt as well as your biggest cheerleader. His coaching opened me up to different situations that caused me to learn about myself, who I wanted to be, where I wanted to go, and what I wanted to have in my life, how I wanted to live. Now I'm very happy. I'm very grateful for the experience because with the help of Dallas, I've learned so much that has shaped me to become a better, stronger person. As horrible it was at the time, I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. She's now learned to accept everything, past and present and future. I love who I am now, and I have a sense of direction, which is absolutely great. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't help but have every area of your life affected. You'll get the job that you want. You'll make more money. You'll show up differently in your relationships. You'll communicate better. It will affect everything. Guaranteed. Period. You'll make more than this program is costing you in the 90 days. Guaranteed. You'll get a raise. Someone will send you a check by surprise in the mail. It just happens. Here's some video testimonies I want to share with you from this is the Passion Warrior program last year.
What is a passion warrior?
Somebody that is in touch with themselves
Someone who believes in their purpose.
and really understanding the different things that they want to do, that they're called to do.
It's about our inner strength. It's about our inner wisdom.
And an inner peace within yourself.
I like the incorporating of the warrior part because then that teaches you to just get out there and make it real into the world.
I chose to work with Dallas because I was just drawn to him for some reason. I met him through mutual friends, and there was just something about him, his energy.
Known Dallas a long time. Met him through business about 8 years ago. I was just really excited to work with him.
He really wants to be there for you and help you out with anything.
He's also done a lot of self-work, and it's reflected in what he's done with this program.
He's just very easygoing, very easy to get along with, and great teacher.
He definitely has a talent for this.
The best thing I've gotten out of the program so far, I think just the foundation of myself.
Awareness is something that I took for granted.
Realizing my potential, loving myself.
And just really getting in touch with my inner self and my empowered self.
Knowing that everything is within my control to just make my life everything I want it to be.
The tools that I have to kind of think through the things that I'm doing and live my life with purpose. That's the best thing I've gotten out of the program.
Is anybody out there who's on the fence about joining but is thinking they want to do it? The fact that you're thinking about it means you should probably do it.
It means there's something inside of you that's calling you to do something more, and now's the time to take action.
Do it for yourself.
If you have a reason, you think it's for career change, health, financial, love, you can come in for that reason and you'll walk out with answers to so many other things in your life that you never even knew you had questions to.
Honestly, just you need that one little inkling inside.
If you think that there's anything you could change or improve or get better in your life, then this is the right fit for you. And this program will change your life.
Yeah! I love that. This program will change your life. That is a promise. So I want to join you, and I want you to join me in together creating the life of your dreams. Ignite your passion, live your purpose, love your life. Join the tribe today. I'm going to go over the application with you. It's very simple questions. Very simple questions, but it's going to help you to determine if this is right for you. Even if you're just thinking about it, then just fill out the application. I don't want your money right now. Just fill out the application. Period. Just do that. Inside the application, there's an area where you can ask me a question. You can just say, hey, I'm not sure this is for me. Well, you and I will personally get on a phone call, and I will give you 15, 20 minutes of my time, and we'll decide together. I won't convince you. I'm not going to try to sell anybody because then you're no good in the program. If I convince you, then you're going to get into something that's not right for you. I want to help you get clear and determine if it's right for you. If you know it's right for you, grab your seat because it will close, period. That it's not a trick. It's just the program has to start at some point. I can only take so many people. Those are just hard, fast realities. So apply, ask any questions you may have, let me serve you, And I really want to have you unleash your potential, live your passions, and start loving your life in 2015. That is me with part of the crew. We actually had a live get-together. We got together physically in person. And so you just become family, man. It's just amazing what we're able to do for each other and what's you're able to create. So right now, I want to hear from you. Let me tell you what's inside the questionnaire, right? When you apply, okay? It's 5 really simple questions. It's, what do you want to accomplish in 90 days? Why are you joining? Why is this important to you? That's all. Think about it. I'd really just like to stop being so confused and feel like I'm wandering and I just don't have the confidence I know to be assertive and freaking take action. I want more of the blueprint that you gave me. How about that? That's one of the reasons. I want more of the blueprint so I can fully engage in the things that you just shared and actually live these things fully in my life. Or I want the love of my life and I know I'm not being who I need to be and doing the things I need to do to attract the right person. I want to raise at work and my boss is just not acknowledging the shit that I'm doing, or I don't want my job anymore. It sucks. I want the courage, the support, and I want the steps to leave where I'm at and go on to bigger things. Just tell me, what do you want? Tell me what's holding you back. That's one of the questions. What do you feel are the main things that are holding you back? What are they? At least to the best of your knowledge. When we get working together, you realize there's things holding you back that you don't even know are there. That's the power of tribe and coaching and community, because you start to figure out, shit, I didn't even know this was affected. I didn't even know this was under the surface. Those are the things that are really driving your life. And so, what is it that you think now is holding you back? To the best of your knowledge. Some of us are pretty aware. Some of us know that just flat out. It's this, this, and this. Next, have you done any work so far? Any work? Have you, spent any time or money or energy on your personal development and personal growth? It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. If we want to become a better singer, we'll hire a vocal coach in a second. If we want to play tennis or we don't know how to play the guitar, we'll hire a musical instructor in a second. If we want to excel in a sport, we'll hire a coach. But it's so difficult for us to say, you know what, I just don't know what I don't know, and I need a life coach, or I need a guide, or a team. I'm doing this by myself, and my friends are not supportive, or they don't want the same things that I want, or my family's not supportive. It's so hard for us to do this. You have an opportunity right now to be honest with me, to be honest with yourself, and to join something that can make a difference. So I'm going to stop yelling for a little bit. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask some questions. So, Tom, are there any questions out there, man?
Well, let's see. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, feel free. And even if you don't have any questions, just let me know what you think of the material so far. What do you think about?
It was awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Cool.
I was loving it, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to hear from folks. I mean, if there's anything, like if there's an aha moment that you had, if like Tom you were loving it, is there anything specific that stood out for you? Is there any questions that you have about the program? Anything about the Passion Warrior program that you want to ask? I'm happy to answer it. If there's anything about just the material we covered, feel free. Don't be shy, because it's just a waste of your time if you don't take full advantage of me and Tom right now. So.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to know personally, I like my favorite part was inspired action.
Yeah. Nice.
Definitely my favorite.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, you're an action taker. You definitely, I'd say you do that the majority of the time. You're good at that. So, but yeah, it's massive. It's massive. I mean, a lot of times too, like the awareness is so big. Like people you just don't know what you don't know. The analysis, some of us don't slow down enough to really take a look into the darkness and really look at why we think the way we think. Well, why do we behave and think the way that we think?
Totally, yeah. And bringing an awareness to that is key.
Yeah, and acceptance is a big one. There's a lot of folks that we deal with, just so that I'm speaking to you now, ladies, for those of you who are listening, a lot of times it's a matter of dealing with our relationships better and accepting the people in our lives and forgiving people, and we're able to just let go of so many things that are holding us back, that are really keeping us playing small, and step in and stop being, for lack of a better term, not to sound harsh, but to stop being a victim and to say, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to take the reins of my life and move on. So I want to invite you into the program. Hopefully you've been served tonight. And, if you, at the very least, make a decision. That's all. Don't sit in the maybe and would. Just fill out the application. It's like 6 questions. We ask you, what do you want? What's holding you back? Have you done any personal development? How'd you hear about the program? And then you get to ask us a question. You can, if you don't feel comfortable doing it right now, you don't want to put it in the chat box, then fill out the application. And like I said, you're not spending any money right now. It's not until you apply and then you're approved. That's when we send you the pay now button. That's when you can pay the one payment of $497. So after you apply, you'll know within 24 hours. We don't waste anyone's time. We're not, this is not a game. We take this very seriously. Tonight, tomorrow, our team's gonna look at the applications. We'll decide immediately. We'll let you know in 24 hours. You'll get an email that says welcome, congratulations, and then you'll have the opportunity to schedule your one-on-one with me immediately. Okay, and then then you'll be able to pay and join the team right away. So just apply right now. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm here to serve, and I'd love to help you any way that I can. I appreciate you so much too. Just having
awesome, Brandy. Yeah, Kelly and Brandy. We cannot wait to read your application, and we're going to be working overtime. So I really appreciate your vulnerability here, Brandy. Telling us that you've just been exploring this in your life and really don't know how to apply it. I think that's the best part about this program. It's really it's all in alignment and being present, right?
Yeah, totally. That we go into depth. If you feel comfortable and there's anything more specific you'd like to ask, feel free. But yeah, literally applying like actual exercises where you can apply these things to your life and get to be part of a group doing it together over the course of 90 days. So it ends up living in your system. We change you on a cellular level. It becomes a part of your life and a way of being.
Yeah, right.
So
Definitely.
excited to have you apply along with many other people. I guess some people have already left and started applying, so we're already getting applications. Awesome. By the way, this is the second webinar. There was another one, so we already have people in the group. So like I said, please apply. At least to save your spot. Once you apply, what that does is it reserves the $497. We know you're serious. Boom, that's locked in. So the cost will not go up after that. So that even just the application will lock in the cost if we raise it, and we're definitely going to raise it for the next program. It's just period at the end. I can't give away that much value and work with a group of people for 3 months long for less than $500. If you don't get how ridiculous that is, this is not for you, and that's okay. I didn't share this, but there was a time in my life when it was challenging for me to get a cup of coffee. Literally, I'd scrape change together to go to Starbucks just to feel like a normal human being and have a coffee and just read at Starbucks and get out of the house. So I understand if $500 is a big deal for you, but I promise you, you'll get so much value and it will change your life. Let's put it this way. After I work with you, $500 will not be a big deal anymore. And that's the way it should be.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So I look forward to working with you. Anyone have any other comments? Anything else that you either want to share? And thank you for the folks who did. I love and respect and appreciate you all. And like I said, even if you go through the program and you're not happy, I'll just give you back your money. You literally have got nothing to lose. Right now you apply and it's free. It's a free application and a free opportunity to talk to me. If you say, hey, I've got a question, ask me in the application. If you say, hey, you know what, I'm really not sure, I'm scared, can we talk? I'll talk to you. I'll get on the phone. I'm just a real person, but I figured out a few things that can help and serve you, and I want to give those to you because I feel so solid that this is my mission and purpose in my life. So,
Dallas, I just want to appreciate you and just say I just want to thank you for all that you give. I know you put your whole heart into this, and I really respect your vulnerability and just the way you come to play every day. I just wanted to say that and just not hold it back. I'm really appreciative of that.
Yeah, thanks, brother. That means a lot, dude. It's been a good experience working together. It's good to work with people who appreciate what you do, and I'm glad that it's mutual. So thank you, brother.
Totally.
Yeah, so we'll stay on for just a couple more minutes. I'm going to give you folks an opportunity to be vulnerable, even just to say hello, share your name, say you're going to apply, ask me questions about the pro, anything at all. I'll just hang out. And as we say for those of you who don't know, we're in Encinitas, California, and it can be a little hippie out here in Encinitas, California, in a good way. And one thing that we like to say is we like to hold space for each other. And if you don't know what that means, just holding space, it just means just being present and giving people an opportunity to think and to just be themselves and to be vulnerable and to be open without judgment. That's a big thing. You know, no matter what you bring to the table, we haven't even gone into some of the stuff I'm going to share with you in the program, like my dark secrets or the mistakes I've made, or it's gonna get very real. But that's what it takes. You know, that's what it takes. So I'll hold space for you, and there'll be no judgment at all. No matter where you're at, I will serve and support you fully. And yeah, so if you're wondering if this is the right time, I can assure you this. Let's put it this way. It's the best thing I can share. I should have said this earlier. Is it the right time? Okay. I want you to think about the chance that you would have either gotten the email, saw the Facebook post, or somehow found out about this webinar. Think about that first. Of the billions of people, over 7 billion people on the planet, of all of the places in the world you could be, of all the things you could be doing with your time where you wouldn't have received that email, that Facebook message, that phone call from a friend, whatever it was that got you to this webinar. Okay? Think of all of the millions and millions of things that are happening throughout your day, these little instances that are happening without even your awareness. Right? I mean, you could have been cooking dinner and driving the car. You could have missed the email. Could have went to the spam folder. You could have never been on a email list where the email would have even come through. If you even got the invitation to this, it is probably a good sign it's for you. It's the universe saying, hello, you've been asking. Knock, knock, knock. It's like the old story of the man who's drowning in the ocean, and he's drowning. He says, God will save me. God will say, God, please save me. And the helicopter comes and it throws down the ladder, and he says, get on the ladder. He's like, no, God will save me. God's coming. My Savior will come. Don't worry about it. I'm good. Helicopter takes off. All of a sudden, a little dinghy comes rowing down the ocean. The person's drowning, like, hey, hop in the boat. No, I'm good. God's coming. God sent you a helicopter and a boat. What more do you need? If you're on this webinar, and especially if you've lasted this long, almost 2 hours, it's probably for you. The program is probably for you. Get off the fence. Get off this call and apply. Get off the fence in your life and join us. Join us, because you will be served 1,000 times over, because if you haven't felt it during this call, that's how I play. It's full out or nothing. I will do whatever it takes to make sure that you are supported, you are satisfied, or I'll just give you your money back. I won't argue with you. I'm not going to give you a hard time about it. We'll just refund you. You got to try, though, first. You got to go through the program. You know, and like I said, at least pretend to show up. If you even pretend to show up, you won't be able to help but get infected by what we but by what we're delivering in terms of like the energy and the information and the exercises. If you even just pretend to play out, you will be changed, I promise you. So, Tom, if we don't have any more questions, we'll just trust that they're going to go apply.
Okay, yeah, guys. So I posted the application a few times, and it's the last comment. But if anyone has any questions, I mean.
Yeah, are they going to get this in their? They're going to get the application in their email to you.
Right, yeah. So you guys can check your inbox also, and we'll send the application there too. But just know this is a limited time.
Yeah.
But yeah, just we're holding space, and we're ready for everyone that applies.
Totally. So the window's going to.
So we'll be looking at them now.
Yeah, the window's going to close in a few days. Period. The end. You won't even be able to apply. Once you apply, it's going to at least save the cost of the program for you, so that it won't change or go up, and you'll reserve your seat. So that way, if the program gets full, there'll still be room for you because you've at least showed inspired action. You've taken some action. You've stayed on the call, and then you've filled out the application. It's 5 questions. It'll take you like 10 minutes. But it just shows us that you're serious. It gives us some kind of insight to who you are and what you want, and it shows us you're serious. That's really the main thing. We want people who are committed, not just curious. So, sounds good?
Well, I just want to appreciate everyone here, and just take care, everyone, and we'll be talking very soon.
Yeah. Rock on. All right, look forward to working with all of you and reading those applications. It's going to be fun tomorrow when I'm doing that. I can't wait.
Same.
Have a great night.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah, bye, everybody.